Mitch McConnell, head of the Senate, right? Well, the Senate's divided. You got two leaders because you got the majority and the minority, and because they have the vice president, technically the majority leader is Schumer because they got 51 votes. But without McConnell coming aboard, because they have 50 votes, you can't get anything done. So everybody's upset at Mitch McConnell. Oh, Mitch McConnell holding up this and holding up that. Well, yeah, we're supposed to. That's our job. We feel differently about different ideas. That's the democratic process. You know, Democrats, they love democracy except when it works against them. Then they hate it. That's the process. Gridlock. That was desired by our framers of our Constitution. Gridlock. If they wanted one-party system, they would have come up with it. They wouldn't have come up with a bicameral House. They wouldn't come up with a system of government, representative government that we have. We want a limited government. We didn't want the government to do too much. So Mitch McConnell comes out, all right? And he's having a speech or talking about something, and he just suddenly, boom. You know, the refrigerator light goes off. Boom. And he just stands there. Everybody screams, holy hell, especially on the left. He had a stroke. Maybe he did. He had a TIA. Maybe he did. He's 80 years old. I'm the first one to admit, these guys in our office are too old. How many times on this show have I talked about people like John McCain, Feinstein? How many times have I said, these guys got to go? Repeal the 17th Amendment. I did a whole segment on why repealing the 17th Amendment is critical to rediscovering our Constitution and our way of life. Boom. Yeah, I admit, he's probably, too old for the job. Really should move on. I don't know any other job you could do at 80 years old except the senator. I mean, really. 80 years old, you're in a wheelchair, you're in a home, whatever. I know there's 80-year-olds out there like Jack LaLanne, but by and large, men don't live past 85. Statistically, women live a little longer, and most of them are walking around with walkers, canes, and wheelchairs. And medical science has done wonders keeping us alive, but hasn't really done wonders on enjoying it much in your 80s. Sadly. I experienced it with my own family. Boom. Just brain boom. But here's the problem I have with it. I have no problem with people saying, hey, maybe Mitch McConnell's too old for the job. Okay, I could buy that. But what about Biden? He's the president. And he's worse. Falls down on his bike. Can't walk up the stairs. You know that Joe Biden now has to use the children's stairs in the back of the plane of Air Force One. He doesn't use the big one anymore. That's a story that isn't reported on the mass media. He's now using the little one. I remember I've always said, why is that staircase is treacherous even for somebody that's healthy? Why is the president using it? And why I would think it would be unsafe to have a president standing on top of a platform where you could usually take a shot at him or something. But Secret Service, whatever, does it that way. He's now using the kids' stairs in the back. The press entrance, the cargo platform, whatever. Stands there holding his hand out. Shake my hand. Everyone laughing at him behind his back. Wandering off stage. Saying he cured cancer. Sniffing little kids. The guy's senile. Right? What about John Fetterman? He needs a monitor so he can understand the words. Standing there with his big, round, fat rolled head. They talk to him and he just stands there. And then he goes to introduce the president and he starts going like this. He can't even speak proper English. What about Feinstein? Her nurse giving her orders on what to vote on with an obvious debilitating disease. She's in a wheelchair and she's like her hands are all crippled and carved. How do I vote? Just vote yes. She reminds me of Captain Pike in Star Trek. Remember Captain Pike? He gets all mauled and they put him in a wheelchair where he can only communicate with a yellow light. 1 means yes, 2 means no. How does he take a pee in that thing? I always wondered about that. Does he keep hitting the yellow light until it keeps going off? That's our leadership now. But that's the hypocrisy of it. You complain about Mitch McConnell, you demand his resignation, but you don't demand resignation of a guy in a much more important job who's much worse. You don't demand the resignation of Feinstein. You didn't demand the resignation of John McCain. Oh, poor John McCain. Months he'd go without a vote. The only time he comes up to vote is when he wants to vote something that hurts Trump. That's the thing that bothers me. The hypocrisy, the lie, the narrative. Oh, Feinstein is okay. Joe Biden is okay. He's fine. He was out riding his bike. Yeah, he fell down on it. Who falls down on a bike when it's standing still? He literally could not keep the... Poor guy. I mean, that's elder abuse. Where's his wife? Do you remember Nancy Reagan protecting Ronald Reagan all the time? No, he has to have his nap. He's an old man. And she was not afraid of saying that. No, he needs his sleep. He needs to do this. He can't do that. She protected him. If there was one person in the world that protected Ronald Reagan, it was Nancy Reagan, his wife. Now he can't come out and talk today. And everyone accused Nancy of running the White House. No, she was protecting President Reagan. Where's Jill Biden? Dr. Jill Biden now, when her husband's falling over and drooling on himself. Falling down after he trips over a sandbag. Where is he? Where is she? Where was she with Hunter Biden? The dog bites people. The Biden dog is biting people in the White House. There's no love in that house. They're all a bunch of pack of jackals, all feeding off each other, trying to make money. Criminal enterprise. There's no love there. That's why the dog bites. That's why Hunter Biden's shooting up coke and taking lines on the Resolute desk. That's why he's with hookers in an isolation tank. That's why he's doing deals. Telling 10% for the big guy. We got to keep paying the big guy off because he keeps me out of jail. So don't tell me about Mitch McConnell. If I was Mitch McConnell and everyone was screaming for my resignation because they just want him because he's standing in their way. That's the real reason. It's not about him. They're not concerned about him having a stroke. They're concerned about what? The politics. We got to get Mitch out there. He's strong. He's not going to let us do anything. If I was Mitch McConnell, I'd say, okay, you're right. I'm too old for the job. I can live without the perks, even though I've had them for, 40 years. I'll be a man about it and step down, but not until Joe Biden sits down. When Joe Biden resigns, when Feinstein resigns, when Fetterman resigns, when those people go, then I'll go. Then I'll consider it. The people that are worse, the people that are in more important positions, when they go, then I'll go. Not until then, because that's the standard. You put it on me. We've been watching Joe Biden fall down and goof off and screw up and be a senile old fart for the last 2 years, and every liberal defended him. So don't tell me now Mitch McConnell, because of his brain fart, is a problem. Yeah, I know. The problem is 80-year-old. Elon Musk wants to amend the Constitution. He says, you should have an amendment. You can't be over 70 or something to be a senator. No, I don't think that's right. All you got to do is repeal the 17th. That's the reason why these guys can stay in so long. That was never intended for senators to be elected popularly. It should be elected by the state. And if that was the case, Mitch McConnell would have been long gone. Would have been somebody else. They just would appoint somebody new else. And nobody would worry about who's the Republican, who's Democrat, whoever the state legislature approves of. That's what you need to do, repeal the 17th. That's why you get Mitch McConnell's brain fart. Because the state legislature in Kentucky, or I think it's Kentucky, is Mitch McConnell? No. They would have replaced him. They just would have said, hey, listen, Mitch, we're gonna, if you don't resign, we'll just remove you from office. We'll get somebody who's a little bit more on the ball, and it would be just another Republican, right? Same thing with Feinstein. Why haven't they replaced Feinstein? Because it requires a special election, and they don't know if they could win it. So they got to keep her voting. What do I vote? What do I vote? That's bad. That's pathetic. That's sad. That speaks volumes about our leadership on both sides of the aisle. Don't you care about your... I actually have more caring and compassion for Joe Biden than Jill does, his wife. His wife stands there and puts up and guides him like a guide dog. Why does he say, no, enough of this? My husband's ill. I want him to go home and rest. Kamala Harris is competent. Maybe not. Maybe that's the problem. He's had enough. He's given his life in service to this country, 42 years. He's given enough. That's what should be done. Don't you care about you? Don't you have any kind of compassion What's wrong with you? You liberals. We're out of time. Again. Hope you enjoyed today's show. No show Saturday and Sunday, where I'm spending time with my wife this weekend. We're going to celebrate my miraculous recovery. I'm now officially recovered. That's the word that you've recovered from the pancreatic cancer. We're now just in a waiting period and a watch for the next 2 to 5 years. He says, you stay, if your health doesn't change in the next 5 years, pop the champagne. You're not going to get sick. So we got to say, because it could come back. But you're recovered. There's no medical manifestation of disease at this point. That's the thing. No manifestation of disease. Can't believe how the whole family got weepy because I was given a year to live. The statistical odds are 1 in 1,000, at least. But Icon Solo, like I said, never tell me the odds. I'm going to run that asteroid field. Fuck it. If I blow up, I blow up. But I'm not going to worry about the odds. I told you that when I did my hiatus show, the show right before I left for 90 days. I said, I'll be back. Don't worry about me. A lot tougher than you think. I'm going to beat the odds. If anyone can beat the odds, I am. But don't tell me you only got 3 years. I told my doctor, I said to him, don't ever tell me that again. You tell me what's next, no matter how bad I get. What's next? And there were times I wanted to give up. I was laying in bed in agony. I couldn't think. I couldn't see straight. I had stuff coming out of me. I had pumps going 24 hours. I couldn't sleep because the pump machines were going. My family encouraged me, kept me going. My better half, I won't even want to get into. I'm still here. I'm back. But I gotta take it easy. So I'm taking this weekend off. Monday I'll do a show. And then again, I'm not doing shows during the week. And because right now they say, you're a little fatigued, you're a little fragile, we want you to rest, which is what I'm going to do. And my supporters and my listeners have all said, you take care of yourself. Don't worry, I will, but I'm going to keep you up to date on all the important stories. That's why I do 2 or 3 podcasts a week, okay? We're out of time for today. Take care, folks. Have a good one.